Okay, in this video what I want to teach you is how to refinish your hardwood stairs. In this case, they were covered with carpet, and for many years they were protected that way, but they also probably have some wear and tear. And what I'm going to do is show you some steps to how to do it properly. Involves a lot of sanding and a lot of cleaning, and a lot of stuff. Obviously, removing all the old carpet, and the steps I will describe in a moment through the video. Okay. Okay, so we removed the carpet already in the patio. We took all the nails, staples, and all the stuff that were, in our way or whatever. Just make sure that you take anything that was used for that purpose. The other thing is that, as you notice, we have some areas that were painted. I'm going to use a scraper to actually take that out, and we're going to use some heavy grit sandpaper to make sure that we can open all the fibers. And we can raise the grain again. I'm going to show you the step, and that's how we're going to make sure that the stain is going to penetrate really well into the wood. Okay. Okay, so once you finish cleaning all the steps, scraping them, sanding them, resanding them, and vacuuming all these things, so removing all the dust, be careful. And one important thing that I have to let you know is that material is really combustible. It can self-combust. So you gotta put it in a metal container and add some water to the stuff, otherwise it will just burn by itself. So after this that is done, we're gonna put some stain. Now, sometimes when you put stain over some pieces of wood, some of the areas of the wood are stronger than the other ones, are firmer than the other ones. And sometimes you just by applying stain, you're gonna have a lot of blotches and strikes around. So for that, you're gonna use this pre-stain wood conditioner. And what you do is that you apply this thing, you use a safety mask, something good enough, and always have a lot of ventilation wherever you're working. And you're gonna apply this thing, and you have about 2 hours to work with this material. So you don't need to apply more than what you can actually use. This is a small section, so we can apply and start staining. Once it is absorbed for about 5 to 15 minutes, just kind of clean with a little rag, clean the excess, and that will be kind of ready for you to work with the stain. Okay. Okay, so now we have finished putting the wood conditioner. You have 2 hours to work with it, and what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna come back down the stairs with this wood finish stain. This one is dark walnut, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply it with a brush, and we're gonna thin it down. We're gonna clean it out with a rag, so we don't have excess amount of stain over the steps. So once your steps are nice and dry, the stain is nice and dry, we're going to proceed with the sanding sealer. Now this sealer will be used to protect the surface, and the finishing will attach more easier to the steps themselves in this case. And one thing that you gotta make sure is that you don't shake this can. You gotta just kind of steer it with a little piece of something. You know, in this case, I have a little palette to do it with, and then I'm gonna apply it with a brush. Now, naturally, this thing will smell a lot because it's like an oil-based material. So keep it ventilated anytime you're working on this. Turn on some fans, open the windows and stuff like that, and it will dry fairly quick. So we're gonna continue with that, and then we will ensure that the final coat or final coats will attach really well to the surface. Okay, as a part of the last step of finishing the staircase that we are refinishing right now, we're gonna apply the top coat. So we just went through all the sealer and all the stuff on the material. We did a little bit of light sanding with a 180 and 220 sandpaper. Make sure that you don't do it so hard because you will rip all the stain away and all the stuff. And clean it, wipe it with a damp cloth, and make sure that it's dry and everything. Make sure that you don't have no particles of fabrics or whatever on the surface. Once you finish with that, we're gonna apply semi-gloss polyurethane, and you need about, I'll say, it says that it's fast drying. Sometimes depending on the condition where you are, the humidity and all the stuff, you might need to wait a little bit longer. But you want to give it at least 10 to 15 hours. So you don't need to, you utilize all the traffic through the stuff. You're not gonna have heavy traffic. Make sure that before you obviously you walk on it, you touch it. If it's sticky, obviously you need to let it dry. Maybe you can move it with a fan. Always leave a lot of ventilation going on. If you feel really uncomfortable, use masks to protect yourself. Normally I use them all the time. But that's how it is. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply it. We're gonna stir it. We're not gonna shake it. We're just gonna stir it with a little stirring stick, and make sure that we apply it, in a light coat. Don't excessively put this thing because it will be gooey to work with, and it will take too long to dry. Actually, the sealer will help you to make it dry faster. So once you do that, you apply the coat and let it dry, and then do it again, and that's it. As many times as you want, depending on how hard you want the material to stick. All right. Every time, allow the material to dry. If you put in a coat on top of a coat in another one, it's going to take a little longer to dry. Okay, so that's how we're going to continue. Okay, so this is the last step, putting the finish coat on top. Then from here on, you can put 1, 2, or 3 more coats if you want to. I normally just put 2. Once this one is dry, I will send it down with 120, 180 grit, depending on how thick it is, or how grainy it is. You clean it up again with a damp cloth, and that's pretty much it. That's the process of doing it. I hope this short video will teach you, will help you to alleviate a little bit of concerns about how to work with this. The same way you did this project, or I was doing this project, you can actually finish your furniture. Do a little bit of finishing back again to your furniture, brand new wood, hardwood floors, and you name it. It's pretty much the same way. Always keep yourself safe, using protective stuff. Keep the areas really well ventilated, and that's it. So thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe for more educational videos. See you in the next one. Bye bye.